force me to look here. Because the light is like lighting.
Rated Black Podcast is all the way live. Welcome to Rated Black Podcast.
Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy 4/20 for all of y'all.
Yeah.
No, I don't need y'all people that's what you're doing and you happy today. I don't either. But happy 4/20 to those of you that know what that is. And celebrating.
We got 4/20. We got Earth Day coming up.
That is from the earth.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Oh, that's from the earth.
That's what they supposed to
Sorry,
say.
my boss just texted my credit card came in.
Oh, yes. The job credit card.
Yeah. Official. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Had to
good.
take a sip on that.
That's a toast today.
Okay. Welcome to Rated Black Podcast, y'all. We are live every Monday. We'll try to be every Monday. Right here live, Rated Black Podcast. Mrs. How you say
Deontay. That's Pooh. He be jacking up your name, Pooh.
All the time. All the time.
You said just put Pooh as your name and he'll know.
I know, see? You messed me up. Now, I still can't. Now you said Pooh, and I still can't pronounce that.
Deontay.
That's got an EC on the end.
No, because that's her part of her middle name.
Oh, okay.
So it's Deontay, and then her middle name starts with a C.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Mom. Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
Said everything.
Everything time. They be calling her Deontay. All kinds of stuff. Like, my name is Deontay.
Okay, let me see y'all. So, Rated Black Podcast. Every day, Rated Black Podcast posts something. So let's see.
I'm sleeping this week.
Shame on
It was a
I
rough
think
week.
Sunday inspiration came through an hour ago. Okay.
It did, because I forgot all about it. Y'all.
See?
Forgive me.
Oh,
It was
it's
a rough
okay.
week. It was a rough week, man.
You should have said Mo.
Last week, Mo was live with Rated Black Q&A. Yay, Mo, so did you have fun doing it?
It was a hot mess.
It was like,
Like, my head was all over the screen. I didn't see the things. I'm like, can y'all see me now?
That's when you had me to join in.
Yeah.
Every time she added me to the thing, our heads, you go see my glasses, you see her mouth on top of her head. I was like,
y'all gotta start using them kids for that tech stuff.
We tried.
I was using my actual cell phone, so I think that was the whole thing.
That's what I'm talking about. What the kids need. We're gonna talk about it. You need them to show you some stuff.
Okay.
All right. Trigger Me Thursdays. Let's talk about it. What's something small that shouldn't bother you, but it does every single time? I'll go first. People who say, I'm on my way, and ain't even left the house yet.
Charles.
Your turn. What triggers you? And so,
Kills me.
Mo said she hates an open toilet. Why?
Oh, I don't like open toilets. You gotta close the toilet.
I like to look
because
at the blue water.
The germs go all over the room. They really do.
They go, I read that when you flush,
that
the
stuff
germs come out. Yeah. And so they say you're not supposed to leave the toothbrush out and stuff like
my
that.
toothbrush covered. I got toothbrush covers anyway, but still, yeah.
Yeah, they say that because the germs go everywhere. And then BG said unattended children, period.
Who said that?
BG.
That's one of my friends.
I think,
Unattended children.
no, I leave my kids in the car while running the store.
Oh, like that? Yeah, that's crazy. You know, hey, that's a serious case. That's a serious case. Wait, yeah, you just a cell block away.
Oh, I'm running the store. You better not open this door for nobody.
Don't let it be hot.
They used to do that back in the 80s, though.
You can't do that.
My mama told me one time. My mama said one time. I think she said one time. Her mama told her, "I stay in the car, stay in the car."
Yeah.
And they got the car.
They got out.
And somebody locked the doors. Locked it out. And when mama came, Big Mama wasn't playing. Big Mama was everybody. Told her stay in the car.
So make sure you tune in for Trigger Me Thursdays, y'all, because Trigger Me Thursdays, you just might find out something new that triggers you.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rated Black Financial Fridays. Stop playing defense with your money. It's time to start playing offense. Too many of us are just trying to survive paycheck to paycheck. But this weekend, shift your mindset. Instead of asking, how do I pay this bill? Ask, how can I make money work for me? Today's tip, pay yourself first. Before you pay your bills, before you shop, before you help everybody else, put something, even $10 to $20 into savings or a separate account. Mm-hmm. Why? Because if you don't prioritize you, your money never will. Let's talk. Be honest. Do you pay yourself first or last? I'm going to tell you the truth. I always pay myself first.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Even before my tithes. Okay, I'm just kidding.
I plead the fifth.
You know? Yes, pay yourself first, y'all. Oh my goodness, I didn't
you
know
supposed
that
to pay yourself though, because you know, man, I gotta get better at that.
I do too.
I be feeling so guilty. Let me handle business first.
Yeah, it's easy to be guilty.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Now let's see. I had I forgot to do the comments. Okay. So let's see. Rated Inspiration Sunday.
It was today.
Some of you are in a season where you feel tired, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too. You've been showing up, you've been pushing through, and you've been carrying things nobody even knows about. And if we're being real, you don't always feel strong. But hear this today. God never asked you to have it all together. He just asked you to trust him while you're going through it. My grace is sufficient for you.
Amen.
For my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. That means even in your weakest moment, even in your quiet fears and tears, even in your I don't feel like it days, you are still covered, you are still called, and you are still going to make it through. So today, give yourself grace, rest if you need to, pray if you can, cry if you must, but don't quit. Your breakthrough is not canceled. It's just being prepared. Mm-hmm. Talk to me. What's one thing you're trusting God with this week? So we don't have no comments under it yet.
Sorry.
So because it was posted today, an hour ago. But that's something that was really
that
good.
Was a
word. We talked about that kind of last week. You know, listening to God when he talks to you, and him telling you exactly what to do, and just being obedient to that thing so that you can reap what you sow. Mm-hmm. You will reap what you sow.
You right about that.
What are y'all asking for God for this week?
Ooh,
I'm asking financial blessing, huh?
I was like when I was maybe 20 years old, I asked the pastor, I said, can I ask God for some money? Mm-hmm. And she said, baby, you can ask God for whatever you want. Mm-hmm. All you have to do is be faithful over a few things, just some little things. Yeah. And at that time, that very same day, I quit doing cocaine. I did. I quit doing cocaine. I was faithful and I got blessed.
Well, that's a word.
That's a word.
Hey, Mama. Hey, Mama. Back to piggyback off what Toya said, I guess what I'm asking for this week is rest. I'm kind of tired lately.
Yeah.
Really tired, just
be specific.
Overstimulated.
Be specific. Tell the Lord you want to rest in the bed.
Yeah, and I'm doing it tomorrow.
Okay.
Like literally, I was like in my mind today. I was like, "Ooh, I just need a day off."
Yeah.
That's every week. I need a day off every week. I don't care. That's just me. I need a day off.
So this is why you gotta be specific with God. You said I need a day off, and you got a little food poison.
No, that ain't it.
You said I need some rest. He said I know how to sit you down.
I was at work, literally for real, and my supervisor was like, "Hey y'all, I'm out today. I'm at an office." I'm like, "Okay, why is she at an office?" She was like, "Tomorrow is a skeleton crew. So skeleton crew, you have an option to work or not." I'm like, let me go and put my thing. I ain't here tomorrow either. So I'm gonna be in the bed tomorrow. I'm gonna be in the bed.
I would say for me would be just coping through the grief.
Coping through the grief?
Yeah, coping through grief and stuff, because it was Tuesday was 6 years since my mom passed away. So this week has been or last week was real tough.
Yeah.
The month of April is tough. always.
Yeah.
So with all of that going on and stuff, and it can put you in a dark place. And so functional depression is real.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just, I'm asking God for light, because this darkness is not a great place to be. But at the same time, it's lessons learned in it.
Yeah.
But I know with grief, a lot of times people try to put a time limit on it, and you can't put a time limit on it. Mm-hmm. And right now, I'm just asking for how to cope in the process, just to get me through the process.
Yeah.
And so that's my prayer to God this week. It's just just kind of, I'm coming out of it, because the month of April is almost over with. So anyway, this right here helps.
Yeah.
The discussions, the talks, and that kind of thing. So y'all pray for your girl, man. Pray for your girl.
We're praying for you, seriously.
Yes, real talk.
Yeah.
But anyway, on another note, y'all ready for today's topic?
Y'all ready for the show?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Our topic today, we're talking about parenting reality. So we're talking about 2-parent homes, single parents, and co-parenting after breakups. And I think this is a really, really important topic. It's definitely tug on my little heartstrings, for real. So I want to just open this up for discussion, especially for people that have gone through this, or people that are going through certain things, and just to give some people some tools, or some advice on how they can move forward. And our first topic is the myth versus reality of the 2-parent household. Okay, so my main question I'm gonna ask y'all: is parenting easier with 2 parents, or is it really about the quality of parenting rather than the number of parents?
2-parent household ain't easy.
I was gonna say it's neither one, because I thought it depends on the quality of the child. Because the kids, I had the unique opportunity of growing up in both, because I was the kind of child that when I said I want to go here, then I got to go here. When I want to go there, I got to go there.
Yeah.
So I had, but I gave them equal parts of the blues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You was that one.
Yeah, I was a little kid. I was something else. One time, my mama came to the award ceremony, my 6th grade award ceremony, and she was so upset. She was like, "You done invited me up here to put on my good clothes and got dressed up. Hey, all you got was perfect attendance. Perfect attendance." She was mad. She was mad.
No, he was mad.
I never got citizenship.
But I sang at the end.
Okay.
And my mama was so excited and so happy and hollering.
So that was the highlight of the show.
That was the highlight of her day.
You had a solo, or
she
you just singing with them?
I had a solo.
Okay,
she
solo.
She said,
what you sing?
Count on Me.
Okay.
Okay.
And so my mama said that was the best thing.
Yeah.
Because she said
they made up for everything.
Yeah, she said it made up for me not getting nothing. She said you ain't get shit.
I know you were.
She was mad. She probably thinking about it getting mad right now. She said you ain't getting nothing but perfect attendance.
She sent you every day for nothing.
Yeah, for nothing. No, I ain't all the wrong people.
So real time, your mama seen your report cards, and
she said they was calling all them other kids' names and everything. I'm sorry, Mom. I ain't gonna tell that. Okay, so we was talking about
the 2-parent household.
The 2-parent household versus the single-parent household. Do you think it's different?
Okay. So growing up, I grew up single-parent household.
Okay.
So, I didn't know what it was like to grow up with the mama and the daddy in the house.
Mm-hmm.
I got married because that was one of the things I wanted my kids to experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want my kids to be able to see that, because I didn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Well. I think part of it is because when you go into a marriage, y'all got to be on the same page. Yeah. A lot of times people put history above everything. you know, you ignore a lot of things and you feel like just because you're together for a long period of time that you gotta be together. You know, conversations wasn't had that should have been had. Because when I got married, I was 24. That's young, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I was young. And, you know, going through that, and a lot of times, you know, both parties got to put in the work.
Yeah.
So if you're not on the same page and you got kids that are involved, so we didn't see the arguments growing up. Me and my sisters, we didn't see no arguments growing up besides my grandmama and my mama.
Yeah.
But it wasn't anything like that. So I grew up in a single parent household.
Yeah.
That single parent household I know wasn't easy for my mom. You know what I mean? Now I've exposed my kids to both. My kids have grown up with two parents in the household, and it was not always the best of situations, you know, especially when arguments occur and, you know, you can sense the tension. That affects your kids. You know, I try not to argue in front of them. We try not that, but at the same time, you know, I found out years later, they was hearing stuff through the walls or through the doors, but they only heard one side. They heard him. They didn't hear me because I wasn't saying anything. So what does that say to your kids when you're not talking or you're not saying anything, not understanding that, hey, I'm trying to keep the peace.
Yeah.
But they're seeing it as a sign of weakness because at the same time, why you ain't saying nothing? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? So you got all of these different things because you don't want to involve kids in grown people's stuff. But kids end up being brought into grown people's stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it just depends. I feel like, well, Mo, you talk about it because you grew up in a two-parent household and you are married right now in a two-parent household. So speak on that.
Yeah, I done been all through. I grew up in a two-parent home. I was a single parent for 4 years, and then I got married, and now I'm in a two-parent. So I've seen all the scenarios. Now I haven't seen being a single parent. As far as the two-parent income, I feel like I mean not income.
Yeah, income.
See that money. That's all I want about is money. Okay.
Yeah.
The two-parent household, there are pros and there are cons. Okay, so with the two-parent home, I feel like it could work. It could be very great. The kids can really see some good things out of it if both parents are putting in the work. You could be in a two-parent household and one parent is actually a single parent in that two-parent household.
Right.
If you see what I'm saying?
Yes, I know exactly.
You have one parent that's doing everything. They're getting the kids ready. They're taking the kids to school. They're going to the games. They're going to, and this other parent this parent is
going to work.
Physically there, but not really.
You're present, but you're not present.
Yeah. So you can be through that. I mean, that's how I really feel about it. That's why I say I agree with you. You said earlier, like both, like it don't really matter.
It really is depending upon the child.
I think it depends on the people.
Yeah.
You know, I think especially when you're married, are you willing to put in the work?
Yeah.
And you have to be willing to put in the work because again, you're a reflection of what your kids see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes everything can be going great and your kid, what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because the kids could matter. You know what I'm saying?
Parenting by itself all along, like even though I'm not a parent, you know, I've been a child for a long time.
And you take care of your baby.
And so parenting is hard. Yeah. You know, kids lie. Oh, I used to lie about some of the stupidest stuff. Ooh.
Yeah.
And you know, it really it triggers you. It messes with your character. You know, because you're like, oh, I'm gonna do something to you because you are a bad child. I'm gonna be a bad person to you. Because you know you have like parents, you know, who it's parenting is hard because you have to be able to control that emotion.
You gotta be able to use good judgment.
Yeah,
you know, it's a lot going with that.
I remember be able to do it.
Yeah, I remember when I was a single parent. The thing that I would say that would really get me is when you're a single parent, sometimes you really feel like you don't have no other help. Like you have help if you have a village that's good. But when you at home all alone with that child and those children, sometimes reality hits you, and you're like, dang, I can't call in sick because if I'm sick, who gonna do this to this child? So I feel like, being in a two-parent household.
But it is 2 incomes for most part. Both parents working.
A 2-parent household helps with that situation because it's been days where I'm like, today I wasn't feeling well. I told Charles, I said, I cannot go get those kids. You're going to have to, and I was thankful that he was able to go get the kids from school today. Because getting the kids from school, y'all, that's a whole chore. Man, that's a whole 2 hours.
It's like 2 hours.
Yeah, literally. I have to go to one school and run and go to the other. And it takes me 2 hours. And, I work from home most of the time. So sometimes I'm working in the car while I'm getting these kids. So, I can't do it today. But he was able to be there to go get it. So that's something good that I like about 2-parent homes, because sometimes if you do have a partner that can help, when you are not at your best or you feeling worse, they can be there to kind of help and guide and do things.
And that's the plus.
Yes,
that is the plus. The downside to when you're a single parent is the fact that you don't have like the assistance, you don't have the help, you don't have the extra funds. Your funds might only extend to just making sure y'all got a roof over y'all head and y'all got something to eat. But as far as extending out, can I have this? Can I go here? And you have to say, I'm sorry, we can't do it. Those are like some of the hardest things you have to do, or you got to try to find another hustle. You know what I'm saying? Just to try to keep up. And when you are a single parent, that's what comes with it. I can tell you, I've got about 3 or 4 different things going on just so I can maintain. You know what I mean? Because there's no help coming. And so those are the woes of it. But you do the best you can with what you got. This is what it is.
I'm gonna give my mama a really good Mother's Day present.
She deserves it.
Because y'all just made me realize that my mama did a really, really great job. Just look at me.
Seriously. She did a good job.
She did a great job. There was never a time where we didn't have something. When she picked us up from school, it was snacks in the car. She put lip chap on the bed, make sure your lips wasn't ashy. And bought your socks every other month,
little stuff.
Little stuff
you
like that.
never really think about it.
I wasn't thinking about it then. I'm like, well, I got some damn Corvette. Why my mama keep buying me Corvette? But now I'm thankful.
So I would say, I think the myth is most people think being in a 2-parent home is better than a single, but not necessarily.
Not if that 2-parent household is
toxic.
If it's toxic, unhealthy, it's always constant arguments, downgrading, each other, or just physical abuse or even verbal, abuse and that kind of stuff. That's not good for the kids.
I'm smiling because my dad and my stepmom had an argument one time. And they were getting into it. And he kept saying, "Stop hitting me." I'm like, "Hey, you didn't know getting beat up."
I don't want to hit her back.
Oh man, that was funny.
Oh Lord, he over here laughing.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Let's go hop on to the second topic, Toy. Let's go agree on that one.
So our second topic is the strength of single parents. So let's talk about the pressure of doing everything alone. Finances, discipline, emotional support. Yeah, that when you so Mo, when you was a single parent, talk about those things like the finances or like disciplining your kid or even just the emotional support. Did you have any of that?
I did. So I had Anaya when I was in college, young parent. I had her at 20 years old. I remember being in college struggling, and literally, I tell Anaya this all the time, I was literally about to quit. I was going to quit college because I was like, man, I can't do this. I'm pregnant. I got to figure out how I'm going to raise this child. I'm just going to stop going to college. But I had a talk with my mom one day, and I was like, I don't know if I'm be able to do this. I'm sick, and I'm about to have this baby because I had hid the pregnancy, y'all. I was so embarrassed. I hid the pregnancy till I was like 6.5 months. Nobody knew I was pregnant. My mom knew I was pregnant. A couple of my aunts knew because they could tell I was wearing big clothes and stuff. But I was embarrassed. I didn't want anyone to know that I was with child. And before I was getting ready to have the baby, I told Mom, I don't think I want to finish college. I was like going to college. I was sick. Like I was sick every day, sick, just in class, sick. failing classes. I ain't afraid to say I failed 2 classes that semester during pregnancy. But as Naya came or whatever, my mom and dad, they kind of sat down and talked to me. They was like, you gonna finish college. We'll take care of her for you while you finish. Because I had like 1 semester left to graduate. They was like, oh, we'll keep her, and then you just gonna graduate and come back and get her.
Yeah.
Did that. So yeah, that's when reality kicked in. I got depressed. I never really told anyone I was depressed. I had finally moved out of my mom's and dad's house, got me an apartment in Garland. It was just me and Anaya. And I was working as a teacher, but I wasn't making that much money for the lifestyle that I wanted, because I was kind of spoiled. My daddy, I didn't have to put gas in my car. I was just telling my dad I need gas in my car. And so I was out on my own. I didn't have that. I'm like, man, I gotta pay my own car note. I gotta pay rent. I gotta pay this, that. Yeah, I was adulting, and I was really financially. I was struggling. So the strength of a single parent, I applaud y'all. I've been that single parent before. I know what it's like. I was on food stamps. I'm not afraid to say that. I was on food stamps, graduated, and started working for the food stamp office. So I know how it feels to be going through a struggle with like a parent who really needs the help and really trying to do something for their life. I've been in those shoes. Yeah. So I never really talk down on people. When I see people, struggling and stuff, because I've been in those shoes before. And I know how it is to be a single parent. And the strength of a single parent, I'm telling y'all, I applaud y'all daily, because it literally almost took me out.
I didn't want to be nobody wants to be a single parent. And you can sit up here and say whatever. Nobody seeks to say, I want to raise a kid by my own. No, you don't. You don't want the problems. No, I know, because I grew up like that. You know what I'm saying? I was, I always wanted to know what it felt like with a dad around. Growing up, that I did. I struggled with that growing up. When you start seeing friends, and I'm looking at my mom, and my mom is, went to beauty school, and she had 3 girls, and was staying with my grandmother. So my grandmother was pretty much kind of like the breadwinner, while my mom, they made it kind of work or whatever. Yeah. But I saw my mama struggle. You know what I'm saying? I saw days where she wasn't eating, and we were. I seen it. Looking back at it. Wow. I seen it. You know what I'm saying? I saw, and she did whatever she could. I don't see, when you said, I appreciate all those things, but I remember, when you get older, you start reflecting on certain things, and you dang, you know what I'm saying? Because at the time, you don't see it.
Yeah, you don't know it when you're a kid.
Yeah, and so now, 7 years post-divorce, shoot. I'm telling you, it's been plenty of times me and God have been having these one-on-ones, because one of my best friends told me, because I felt like I was the person that, especially with finances, when it looks different when you're in a 2-parent household. As a teacher, I know I wasn't making no money like that when I had 2 as opposed to 1. Yeah. So now I'm looking at 1, and I'm like, damn, I gotta pay, rent. I got this car note. I got electricity. I got food. It was a lot, and then I wasn't getting any help. You know what I'm saying? There was no child support coming through. It started off, all of a sudden you decide you don't want to pay. And so now I don't have that, extra source of extra help. Then, the visitation stopped. And so now I'm literally figuring it out on my own. And at the same time, me and my kids are like, hey, we just gonna do what we do. You know what I'm saying? And, I had to have the hard conversations with them. The conversations that you don't really want to have.
You don't really want to bring kids in, but you gotta be
it's kind of like, hey, let me let you know. I remember one time, literally, y'all, I kid you not, it was groceries it was cheaper for me to go to McDonald's than to go to the grocery store. Yeah. And we was sitting up there eating. I promise you, that 4 for $4 for about a good month. We was up there, Win and Ace was out there at McDonald's every day. Yeah. 4 for $4. Hey, which one you got? Some nuggets? You want burger? You want chicken sandwich?
Rotate.
Whatever. I mean, I'm saying that, and that's embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? Damn, we gotta sit here and eat, but they didn't complain. They did what they had to do. They was used to having their own room because we had our house, and then when I had to downsize, it was like, hey, y'all not share a room. They're like, we all right. You know, they didn't make me feel bad, but as a parent, you can't help but to feel bad. You know what I'm saying? But they went in, we did what we did, we make it work. And that's all you can do. You know what I'm saying?
I say, what's that movie? When I think about
for my sister, we didn't get free lunch. Yeah, we was scraping up for we didn't have, my mama didn't fill out the free lunch.
The strength of a single parent. When I think about that, I think about that movie, that Tyler Perry movie. Oh, it's a good movie. Is it No Good Deeds?
No Good Deeds. Talking about with the woman that was cleaning the house when she was with
no, she was cleaning the building.
She was cleaning the building. Yeah, that was No Good Deeds.
And she was a single parent just trying to make ends meet.
Cause the husband died. He died, and so she was, almost like through nursing school.
Yeah.
But she had to clean.
But
and then she didn't have nobody to take care of a kid, and then she had to bring her child to work. But now, you got child protective services involved.
That's a good one. And what's the one with Will Smith?
Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah, that's a good one. Those movies right there.
Yeah,
they project the strength of single parents.
Yeah,
those are good movies.
And emotional support is really, really important. I think
Coach Asia said it's hard without a village.
It is hard without a village. She knows, especially because she's dealing with that on her own.
She said, I hated moving here to Dallas career-wise, but the help with my son is unmatched.
Period.
Yeah, sometimes you do. You have to take those sacrifices. Like, I already know, Dallas work
trash.
Suck. That's why I mean, still in an eye, don't come back to Dallas.
Not if you don't need to.
Not if you want. Yeah, it's more opportunities in different states. Atlanta, DC, California,
Whatever. I mean, go ahead and live that. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? You have to, I think, with your kids and stuff, I feel like when having open conversations is important. I don't try to hide anything from my kids. I want it to be real transparent with them.
That's good. No surprises.
Because I don't want you to be surprised.
I don't want your hopes
hey, I want to do this for you, or hey, hold on and let me go ahead and do
sometimes they don't understand. They don't understand. They think that you're being mean and you don't want to do it. It's not that you don't want. If I want to give my kids a word, whatever they want, I want to be able to give that to them. But if I'm not financially in a place where I can do that, let me have this conversation with them. Let them know, hey, we gonna get to it.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a time when we get to it.
I gotta do it one at a time.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, you'll get your shoes next month.
I tell them kids they ain't getting shit.
What did discipline look like?
Discipline. Two parents.
No, one parent. When you will see, what was discipline? Was discipline more so? Because it's different when you're a two parent. With two parents, you might have that one bad cop, one with somebody to smooth it over.
Anaya was horrible. Stayed at school.
Naya, no, you wasn't. Naya,
I know your mama making that up. Naya 360. She was horrible. I'm talking about from pre-K all the way up to about 5th grade. She stayed in the office, suspension, fighting. Something was always going on. Me and my mama was rotating, going up to the school. One time she tore the classroom up so bad.
Not Naya.
Naya, I don't believe it, Naya. I'm talking about stuff everywhere, y'all. My mama said like a tornado hit. Ooh, my mama tore her up. She tore her up. I was at work embarrassed. Then when I got with Charles, I thought, I got Charles, it's gonna get better. Nope. Then Charles, it didn't. It didn't get no better.
Oh no, not Naya.
She beat this boy up at school so bad one time. That teacher called Charles. Shout out to Coach Honey, y'all. Coach Honey, a lot of people know Coach. He called Charles and he said, hey bro, I had to get Naya off of him. She was beating that boy down. Yeah, in trouble every day. She did a 360. So
she said she was an angel.
Yeah, right. She was on demon time with me as a single parent and with a two parent.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Now my discipline is all right. I just, my kid. I'm grateful. I'm actually really, really grateful that my kids do what they need to do, and I ain't had to try to go up and try to do anything, and I can actually have a conversation or kind of dig in or whatever, because they know how I am about academics, they know how I am about sports and following through. So that's the one good thing.
Who got kicked off the bus? Hold on.
Brooke did.
She said Naya sound like Brooke. That's my niece. My niece was bad.
Yeah.
She got kicked out the
Mine did a 360 when she got to middle school. Just
My little cousin got kicked out of pre-K, kindergarten, and first grade.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Big kids, something else.
Yeah.
I can see it. I see it now. That's why no. It don't even make no sense you for it.
I remember the first time I got in trouble. It was for talking back to the teachers in kindergarten. I was so mad at my mama because I didn't understand. I got in trouble for talking back, but I was right. The teacher said something wrong and I corrected her. And she got mad because I corrected her and said that I don't do that in front of other kids. And I'm like, I'm in kindergarten. You know, you wrong, you wrong.
And I don't agree with that. Like, I remember growing up, people would always say, you're not supposed to correct adult, but sometimes adults think wrong.
But at the same time, I don't like just how you do it.
It's the delivery.
At the same time, because when you 5 and stuff, they ain't got no filter. So you probably got no filter. You said something real slick, and that probably really pissed off.
It was tongue and delivery.
I didn't understand why I got in trouble.
Mama said, don't forget about daycare.
It's
Everybody kicked out of daycare too. No, she's talking about my cousin.
It was something started daycare.
He got kicked out of daycare too.
That's funny. Okay, we're gonna go to our third topic, which is co-parenting after a breakup or divorce.
Your mama said she put that prayer on you.
Yeah.
That's the only thing
that do work.
That's the only thing that'll work. Okay.
So Mo, I know you can kind of talk about this because at the same time, co-parenting. What does it look like? Because it gets real because of the things that families have to deal with, especially whether it's like baby mama, baby daddy, or an ex-husband, ex-wife. What co-parenting look like for you?
Well, it's sad to say that I never really co-parented with Anaya's biological father. My co-parent was with my mom and dad. They were the other side. I didn't have that support system, and I don't know why. I went through a moment where I would question like why this person don't want to help me. And y'all know me, I'm a Taurus. My mouth fly. I'm gonna say what's on my mind. I'm not gonna sugarcoat. And I'm definitely, excuse my language, I'm not gonna kiss no ass. I'm sorry. I don't need your help. I'm not gonna put you on child support. I had that mentality for it the longest. So I sat down with one of my friends and she was like, you ain't got that boy on child support? And Maya was literally about to hit like middle school. She's like, I'm like, no, my motto is you reap what you sow. You don't take care of God's children, God don't take care of you. And literally, I feel like people who don't take care of their children, God's gonna put a whooping on you because these kids didn't ask to be here. So that was my mentality. The whole time with Naya growing up as a kid. But I didn't really co-parent. My co-parent was with my mom and dad. They were the ones that I would like if I needed help. They were my village. Until I got married.
We didn't ask to be here, so Mama, I need you to pay my rent. I'm tired of paying this rent.
Man, co-parenting, you know what? Co-parenting works if you want it to work. Both parties have got to be in agreement with a lot of things. It don't work for me. It hasn't worked for me. Co-parenting has been very, very difficult for me. It started off okay. You know what I'm saying? As far as, a lot of things you have to, when you have a divorce decree, you have certain times where, you're supposed to weekends and that kind of thing, and summers and all this other stuff. And all that stuff was working out probably for the first good couple of years. It was like a couple of years. But then what ends up happening is when you bring in personal stuff, it's no longer about the kids. So when it's no longer about the kids and you can't find something to get along with, you know what I'm saying?
Good, Asia, she just said that it's easy when it's all about the kids.
It is easy when it's about the kids. For me, it ain't about the kids. It was about something even more personal and that kind of thing. And so I feel like, you have to have some healing in place. And for me, I'm not going to beg. And like I told my kids, at the end of the day, I will never, you have one mother, you have one father. I've never discouraged my kids from having a relationship with their father, ever. And matter of fact, I try to encourage them. But then when they start seeing actions and then they following through, then they feel a certain way, and they're human. They have every right to feel the way that they feel, right? Exactly. But at the same time, you know, I'm no longer the fixer. So I've always been the fixer. You know, try to bend this, that, and that. I'm not doing that anymore.
Because you know why?
But at the same time, it don't have nothing to do with me, because your relationship with your kids is your relationship with your kids. We are no longer together. So for you to mend that and fix that, that's on you and them. All three of them got cell phones.
Yeah.
You don't have to go through me no more. You know what I'm saying? That's something that you're gonna have to work out and try to figure out, because like you said before, kids don't ask to be here. You know what I'm saying? So you have to do what's necessary. And at the end of the day, like I told my kids, hey, just understand if your dad doesn't want to be a part of your life, that he's not, that ain't got nothing to do with y'all. They got everything to do with him, because they are some amazing kids. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want them to ever feel like, dang, you know, what is it about me?
Because they do go through that.
Yes.
They go through that.
Yes.
I know Anaya went through that stage where she was questioning, like, why my daddy don't come around, or, you know, I see him ever so, you know, and I'm the parent where I'm not going to sit there and bash you. I'm not going to sit there and say, your daddy, you know, I'm not going to do that. I don't got the energy for that. Yeah. I don't have the energy for that.
I'm like, that's what he's missing out on. He's missing out on the things that she's doing. She's doing great things. You know what I'm saying? And for you to not even want to be a part of that, or not even trying to make the effort, that's your loss. Yeah. And that's how I feel about it. You know, that's
now I understand why that girl dropped them kids off with I. Oh, you want to play dad?
Baby, that's what she
oh, you want to play dad?
That's what I wanted to bring up, though, on a serious note. Co-parenting and single parenting and two family household. Out of all three of those, co-parenting is the hardest when it's not about the child. Yeah, it has to literally be about the child. You have to, like I said, I was able to grow up in both. Like when I won't stay with my mama, my daddy and his wife make me mad, I can go home to my mama. When she made me mad, I can go over there with my daddy, you know, and so that means it was all about me, you know, whatever I needed and whatever I wanted, to help me and my emotional state. Yeah. You know, so it has to be all about the child, and then that just makes it
most of the time
it's not. It's relationships. Yeah. Okay, so talk about like step parenting. So let's talk about step parents and blended families. So a lot of times you can speak about that, you know, like, or, you know, I kind of speak on it a little bit because, you know, he got remarried and stuff. But sometimes when you bring somebody else into the fold, you know, I think it's a way that you need to do it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, at the end of the day, you know, I want to make sure that my kids are still being taken care of when they're there and not being mistreated because of who their mother is or who their father is. You see what I'm saying? So those things, like you are in a blended family. Yeah. But, or, you know, if step parents, but of course Charles don't treat Naya like she's a stepchild. That's his kid.
So it's crazy because I was brought up in a blended family. My mom and dad been married, what, 47 years, y'all? 46 years, be 47. But my dad has an older son. My older brother, I got a brother that's 49. And then shouts out to my brother Dion. He'll be 47 on Wednesday. But my mom and dad met. My dad had already had an older son, so we were a blended family. Okay. So I grew up in that household where I had the brother that lived in another household would come over on the weekends and things like that. And then my blended family, me and Charles was brought up in a blended family also. And so both of us seeing the blended family how it works. It works for us. It works for us. You know, Charles came straight in, was always like the father figure, a figure to Naya. We never really had any issues. It's never been get your child or, you know, let me do just for the three other girls. Yeah. Naya, for anything, he actually do more for Naya than he do for his own children. Yeah. Sometimes he does a little bit more for Naya than he's actually done for lyrical rhythm, you know. So we've always just blended and had no issues with it.
I love it. Shout out to you, Charles.
I used to tell my stepmama, you ain't my mama.
See that?
I'm just playing. I ain't do that.
I think Naya did say it was on one time.
Having
I mean, she won't say it now.
She was good.
being an adult and having step parents as an adult has been like the biggest blessing for me because it's for me it was more so like my mom's husband, my
How old were
dad.
you when you had step parent?
All my life.
Oh, okay, all your life, so
But
as a child.
but as an adult though, my I love the way that my dad takes care of my mom. My stepdad loves my mom, and I feel like that's what she deserves. So that makes me so happy just to have, that blended family because that's my daddy. When I had to get me some car insurance this week, and I had to call you and say, hey, I needed a veteran.
Yeah, you know, because they ain't
on the question that said,
you gotta know somebody.
parent, step parent. I said, oh no, I ain't putting step. That's a trick question.
Yeah, that's my dad.
That's my dad.
All right, let's go to topic 4. What kids really need. So let's bring it back to the kids. Okay. So what do kids actually need most from parents today? What y'all think?
They need to see a healthy environment.
I agree.
I don't think they need to see toxic vibes. Shouts out to AC.
Positivity.
Okay.
They just need to see their parents be good stewards because you ultimately are what your parents are. How you act and how you carry yourself, and the things that you say, the way that you walk, it's all a reflection of your upbringing and how you were brought up. So in order for these kids to be better kids for a better tomorrow, a better future, then we need better parents.
Yeah.
We got to have better parenting, because, you can't just talk to your kids any kind of way.
Yeah.
And your kids can't see you talking to everybody else any kind of way.
Because they do it.
Yeah, they'll do that.
And then they wonder where they get it from.
Yeah.
I don't know where they got that from.
Asia said love, yes.
Yes.
Like love, support.
Yeah.
They need to be supported. They want you to come and support them in ways that you probably don't even think is important.
Yeah.
You being there at the school for their little program.
Even if they're not getting no awards.
Even if they're not getting
no awards.
It don't matter. My mom was here. Where was your mom?
I think they also need emotional safety.
Yeah.
Your kids need to be able to come to you and talk to you about the things that's going on in their lives. They need to be able to feel safe. They need to be able to tell you, hey, I don't like the way that you just said what you said to me without you having an attitude about what it is you said.
Yeah.
So I think bringing that about,
Ooh, I felt my eye closing when you said that.
I think healthy conversation is important.
That's
You know what I'm
true.
saying? Because otherwise, if you don't start that early,
Mm-hmm.
then that's the reason why a lot of these people don't know how to talk now.
Give me a pen. I need to stop saying shut your ass up. Don't say that.
I'm working on that, Tori.
Yeah.
With my kids, I would say Anaya. I don't think you had that with me. I don't think she had that. She would always go tell my mom everything.
Yeah.
Asia didn't start telling me
happens in
stuff.
this house?
Asia didn't start telling me
Stays
stuff
in this
until
house.
she definitely is wrong.
Yes,
Like
like
now,
they get wrong and they tell you.
So I started finding out stuff that happened when she was younger.
Yeah.
Like maybe like a year or so.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Why you
what?
didn't tell me?
So
My mom always said, "Ooh, don't tell me nothing else." I think she got flashbacks about kicking my back.
I think, and also, like you said, showing them love. Y'all make sure y'all love on your kids. I think they need to. I think fathers definitely need to hug on their sons.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like everything ain't. If they crying, that don't mean they weak or anything like that. But I feel like again, we talking about emotional safety.
Mm-hmm.
That if I'm hurt, I need to be able to express that. But I don't want to see them. Cut them tears off. You can't do me.
I realize that parenting is so hard because a parent is something that you literally have to want to be.
Mm-hmm.
You have to want
and
to be
it's something that does not come with a manual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it is different for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so how you parent your kid, is going to be the way it's trial and error.
Yeah.
I ain't lying, it's trial and error. Some things work and some don't.
Yeah.
And that's something that then when you figure out it don't, then you readjust.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
Angel said attention, healthy communication. I say routine, being consistent.
You gotta be consistent.
You can't be all over the place, you know.
And stand on what you say.
Yeah.
Who said life is too short? Don't always be so serious. Joke around with your kids. Enjoy that.
Yeah, we gonna have us a schooling session at our house.
Yeah.
If them kids call me fat one more time.
Y'all, they not gonna get in the schooling session with none of my kids. They gonna rip you up because we done taught them how to score before they leave the house.
Yes. But as you say, whether it's towards them or whether it's how you talk to other around them.
Other people, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, the way, like, you can't just go outside talking to people any kind of way.
Yeah. Because what they see, they need.
What they see, yes.
They do. You a mirror, a reflection. All right, that was good, y'all.
Yes, it was.
Yes, that was good.
Appreciate all y'all in the comments.
Yes,
y'all
we appreciate
amazing.
that.
Y'all amazing.
And
all right, y'all. It's the end. That's it for our topic for today.
Yeah.
And so we went over everything. I think that was good because we went over everything and in our experiences. And we had some people chime in. The Sir George said he's the winner.
the flowing session.
He be getting them, boy. It be fun.
They just said the kids remember
He be
everything.
only winning because he be picking up props around the house. Like,
Kids do remember
like if
everything.
one of the kids got something in their teeth, you finna go find a yellow crayon or something. Your teeth look, you know, something. He'll pick up this pillow. Yeah, he be on.
Oh, no.
Ain't nobody trying to do it. Nobody. They be giving him.
Big shout out to all the parents. Big shout out to all the parents.
All parents, single, co-parent,
who did it. Who didn't have good parenting growing up and still parented their kids better.
Yes.
That's amazing, right
That
there.
is.
Because what if my mom would have treated me like her mama treated her?
Yeah.
Then I probably wouldn't sit here. But anyway, shouts out to all the parents today.
Seriously, yes.
Kudos to you. So we're at the end of the show, y'all. So y'all know what that means. It is time for
Say What Now.
Say What Now is where we take all of those funny, thought-provoking, informative, encouraging things that we find on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of those good things, and we read them aloud here on the show. All right, y'all.
I'm going to start off.
Go ahead.
All right. You are the CEO of your life. Hire, fire, and promote accordingly.
All right, now I like that.
Yes.
Hire, fire, and promote.
Hey, anybody
Somebody
that you got going on or whatever, you go ahead. But them people that is not doing what they need to do, you need to let those folks go. Let them go.
All right, we going like this?
Oh, it don't matter.
All right. Waking kids up for school and getting them ready on time is so painful.
It is.
So your kids are got, you got 18.
No, but Ken at the house, and that's a whole
boy.
baby. Yeah. I can be doing the fool in the mornings.
Yeah.
Now you said yours don't win in the store.
Yeah, that's what she
Hey, real been on it.
I told my stud cousin they drafted them first for the war. She gonna say, shit, watch your boy get pregnant on their ass.
Oh my gosh, that was funny.
That don't make no
Oh my gosh,
sense.
that's funny. Okay, what they hate in you is missing in them. Keep shining.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
A
real,
lot
just
of
watching.
people will drain all your good, positive, fun energy out of you just so you can be not yourself because they couldn't be.
Cause they happy.
Yeah, nah.
You never know when you'll never know when you'll hug your last hug, kiss your last kiss, or hear someone else's voice for the last time. Be nice.
Yes. You've been on a Be Nice for a couple of weeks now.
I've
You
been
want
nice.
you want everybody to be nice, don't you?
They need to be.
Yeah.
It does not
You
cost
want
to be
everybody to
kind.
be nice. I can feel that from you.
Some nice energy, right?
Yeah.
I'm working on myself.
Yes.
I have never been called crazy by a man who didn't come back for more. So who really crazy?
That part.
What?
Okay, if you gonna wear animal print, please weigh less than the animal.
Oh, yeah, wait.
I'm just saying. Come on, Mom.
Never let anyone recruit you into hating someone who never wronged you. Be an adult. I don't like that. I don't like that. Like, if somebody did something to another person, they trying to recruit you because they mad at this person.
Yeah.
Don't do that, y'all.
Yeah, that's not cool.
That's just not cool at all. So,
yeah, it's not cool.
I don't like that.
Me neither.
My grandma always said, if a nigga feet stink, his ass ain't too far behind.
Ooh, that's a true comment.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay for your relationship to be too good to be true. It's called healthy.
That's
just
really
saying.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
When you remember where God brought you from, you will stop doubting where God can take you.
Period.
I'm gonna get that on the shirt.
Yeah, that's good. I'll make it for you.
Mm-mm.
Don't get sidetracked by people who ain't even on track.
Ooh,
that's good.
They gonna get you off
Don't
track.
get sidetracked.
They gonna get
You
you off track.
people who ain't even on track.
Yeah, no need for that. Okay, I don't care, or I don't know who needs to read this or hear this, but walk like the prayer has already been answered.
Ooh,
Yeah,
baby.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Y'all need to walk in it. Whatever you pray for, you need to.
And when you say
know.
walk in it, that means talking,
Yeah.
dressing,
Yeah.
you got,
Speaking, affirming, trusting, all that.
That's good. I like that.
Some of y'all have wifey or hubby material at home, but you out here cheating with bed bug Betty. Bed bug Billy.
Bed bug Billy.
Bed bug Billy and Billy.
Bed bug Billy.
I am so jealous of people who know how to shut up. I shut up and subtitles be coming out my face.
Me too. I'm good at that one. Yeah. You can tell on my face.
That's that poker face.
Yes.
Yes.
Your greatest weapon is your mind. Train it to see opportunities, not obstacles.
That's good.
Yes.
Say that again.
Your greatest weapon is your mind.
Okay.
Train it to see opportunities, not obstacles. A lot of times we are so quick to go to the negative about all the things that's not going to work. And at the same time, let's flip that and on the positive side of how it can work.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all it is. Come on, y'all.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I ain't got one right now. I'm looking.
Take care of the body that you have so that you will be well enough to enjoy the blessings that you're praying for.
I love it. Mm-hmm. And you do. You got to take care of yourself, y'all. We need to stop letting people use, I was going through something as an excuse to treat us like anything. We're all going through something.
Mm-hmm.
So don't let that be no excuse for people talking about I was going through something while people are just mistreating you or using you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, I got a good one.
I was going to ask you to read mine so I wouldn't get in trouble.
You gonna get in trouble by yourself. Okay, y'all know this weekend it rained, right?
Uh-huh.
And then it got cold, right?
Yes, it did.
Like, what is?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is pertaining to this. It is so cold, you gotta run your car like somebody shooting. I was down this morning. I woke up this morning. Look at this car. Yeah.
I don't take relationship advice from my mama because look at who her baby daddy is.
Wow.
See, that's why you gonna get trouble. You
didn't write it though.
But you read. Mom, you gone call
Okay, that's what I'm doing.
No.
People be offending me like I was holding them back in life.
Oh, you should have said that in the first This is your daily reminder. Do not absorb other people's whack ass energy.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't take it in. Don't take it in.
Mm-hmm. I ain't got another one. I'm looking.
Oh, my last one.
Okay.
God is good.
All the time.
That's it.
I got one more. You gotta love yourself so much to the point where the lack of love from others doesn't even bother you.
Oh, wow.
That's good.
That's a hard one.
Hey, you got to though.
Wow.
You gotta, the self-love is important.
It is.
And you already know when you love yourself, how you love yourself is a reflection on how other people gonna treat you.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all love
That's
yourself.
true.
Love yourself. Yeah. You gotta show people, you gotta be the example of how you want other people to treat you and how you show up for yourself.
Sometimes taking good care of yourself can keep people away from you that are no good for you. They'll look at you and how well groomed you are and how articulate you are and be like, wow, I better not mess with him you know.
Intimidated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Intimidated.
Sit on bed. Yes.
Yes. I know. So
Okay.
take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself.
Now,
Yeah. Y'all take care of yourself.
We having us a Whoopi Goldberg and what's that comedian name? The big one, Leslie. Yeah, when she was on the beat.
Yeah.
And Oprah started fanning her. I'm your Oprah. I mean, Whoopi. Whoopi did it. Not Oprah. Oprah wasn't there. Whoopi.
Whoopi. You can call her like Whoopi.
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 You know, I used to think she was my mama when I was little.
Why?
But we look so much alike.
I can't.
Bye, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Bye, y'all.